The history of Israel has always been a battleground of faith, power, and survival. Once a land of prophecy and promise, it became the obsession of empires, the birthplace of religions, and the spark of endless conflict. The Egyptians enslaved its people, the Babylonians burned its temples, and the Romans sought to erase its identity, yet no conqueror could truly claim it. Revolts shattered empires, exiles fueled resilience, and generations fought to reclaim what was lost. But with each victory came new enemies, and with each rebirth, new struggles. But what happened next in the history of Israel? To understand the wars, the faith, and the unbreakable will of its people, we must go back to the very beginning. The story starts on the eastern coast of the Mediterranean Sea, known as the Levant, more specifically in Canaan. Bordered by the Mediterranean Sea and the Jordan River in the East, Canaan has left a lasting legacy on today's world, since it is settled at a crossroads of civilizations. On the west, the sea connected it with Europe. On the south, there was the Arabian Peninsula. On the east, there was Mesopotamia, and on the north, Canaan was connected with the old civilizations in Anatolia and the Kosas region, and that crossroad could lead on many sides. Phoenicians became skillful traders who gifted the world with a phonetic language known as the alphabet, is still used today. An early Neolithic period's life flourished in this part of the world, with a lot of fertile plains, highlands, and most importantly, coastal access. It was natural that the prehistoric people would settle in Canaan. The main center and one of the earliest continuously inhabited cities in the world was Jericho in the valley of the Jordan River. Archaeological discoveries show that people living in Jericho even had defensive walls and towers almost 11 millennia old. Jericho still exists today, which makes it one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world. During these millenniums, many different tribes lived in these lands, but the emergence of Canaanites in the 3rd millennium BC changed everything very soon. The Semitic people founded city-states, and trading began to flourish. Their states, including Jericho, Megiddo, and others, communicated with Mesopotamian states, and Egypt being the crossroads of these civilizations. These Canaanite states accepted some foreign cultural customs, but also spread theirs. And the ancient Canaanites also worshipped multiple deities, like their neighbors in Egypt. But in this crossroad that was destined to become the Holy Land, something soon changed in the stories of the founding of the world's first monotheistic religion. Stories crossed the thin line between ancient history and mythology, mystifying even more the origins of Judaism. It all started with Abraham, a man born in of the Chaldeans in Mesopotamia. The myth further says that he received a message from God to travel to Canaan and spread God's word. Abraham left the safety of his father's home, and he was promised that the land of Canaan would become his and his family's, along with God's blessing. His journey was full of obstacles like weather conditions and long wandering through inhospitable lands. Stories of his adventures are incoherent, and some even state that he visited Egypt. Jacob later had 12 sons who became the founding fathers of 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob also introduced the name Israel, but circumstances like the 7-year famine, and especially finding his son Joseph, made him relocate to Egypt, where he was greeted by the Pharaoh himself. With Jacob, the period of the patriarch was concluded, and the Israeli people entered the new era in Egypt. The one who started the era in Egypt was Joseph, sold in slavery by his brother. Joseph quickly broke his shackles and became dissected by Pharaoh, who trusted Joseph to interpret Pharaoh's dreams. Moses' story begins in the shadows of the Greatest Depression.